I'm Jesse Owens. This is Local Legends and Icons. I'm here today with this crazy and amazing lady. She wants to Ironman the Baja 1000 by herself. So Alexia, give everybody a little bit of a rundown on what you race and what your plans are for 2022.
I race a Polaris XP 1000. I started out in the more short course races, and this year I made the big jump to run the full Best in the Desert series. I'm racing in the Pro Super Stock class, and I'm hoping to drive every mile of the series this year.
Yeah, that is incredible. Props to you.
Thank you.
So what was the series that you ran prior to Best in the Desert?
The biggest one was mainly ACOP. I started doing one or two Lucas races. Wasn't really my thing. Was not a short course person. Moved into ACOP and kind of gained a lot of driving skill. Then decided I wanted to move up to desert, and we made the big jump.
Not very many people know this, but you prep your own car.
Yeah.
Keep up your own maintenance on your car. So what does it take, to get to the races?
A lot of time and effort, definitely. My car takes a beating, so definitely takes some prep, but can't win if you don't finish a race on a good car. So, I'm in school full time, so I have to prep it after school every night after my homework, and it's definitely not easy, but it's rewarding when you cross the finish line, especially in first.
Outside of racing, you obviously have, your personal life, school. I heard you are in a honors high school. You keep up with your grades. So what's that like, trying to manage racing and school? Because I know it's not hard.
No, it's not easy. The school I go to is very demanding. Definitely has a lot of work, a lot of homework. Missing school. I'll miss school for one day, and it'll take me almost a week just to get all caught back up. Yeah. I'll miss so many tests and assignments, and it's not easy, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's the lifestyle, yep. You're currently in the super stock class. So for people that don't know, do you want to kind of give a little bit of a rundown, I guess, on what it is or like why you chose to go into that class?
Yeah, a lot of the big classes have turned into very, very expensive cars. Yeah. That is unnecessary. But so super stock classes, keep the car stock, and you can put like bolt-on suspension. I have a cage, bolt-on suspension, wheels, tires, and that's really it. So it's a lot cheaper, and it really shows what the cars are capable of.
So not many people know that the super stock class is not a youth class. There is professional athletes in there. There is adults in there. It is a class that is, wide range with age, everything. So just tell people what the class is, and that it's not, yes, the super stock class is a cheaper, more affordable class, but it's not any less than what the pro classes are.
No, I'm still running. There's actually quite a few people that were pro turbo, pro NA, pro limited, and they dropped down to this class. So there's some racers that have pro unlimited championships and wins. They're not beginner drivers. They're definitely very experienced.
A lot of people don't know that the first race that you did was Vegas to Reno, which in the United States is known to be the longest, probably one of the most brutal races that there is, in desert and dust. And you did it with Ruslan, and you two were the youngest to do it.
In 2021, me and my really good friend Ruslan decided to team up to attempt to become the youngest kids to drive Vegas to Reno. If you don't know what that is, it is a race from Vegas to Reno, Nevada. It's about a 500-mile race. There's through the Nevada desert, and I ended up co-driving for Ruslan the first 100 miles, and then I hopped out for just over 100 miles, I think, and our other co-driver hopped in. And then by the time dark hit is when I got in. I drove 240 miles, almost all the way to the finish. And then my Ruslan jumped in to take it to the finish line, and we ended up finishing 6th and became the youngest kids to do it.
A good portion of your race was done in the nighttime, and a good portion of also your driving, yourself driving. So, you're in the dust, you're trying to figure out navigating. It's dark, it's late, you're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So like, do you have any crazy stories at night? Like, was there anything, you know, that you saw that you weren't like expecting, you know, when it's pitch black in the middle of nowhere?
There were a couple. We ended up blowing a belt in a sandy canyon. So we had no radio communication. And, I actually didn't get out. It was just my co-driver got out to change it, and that belt was beyond description. Like 30 minutes to change it. Yeah. So we had no radio, so we kept trying to get the radio, but you're in a canyon, you don't really have radio. There was another time we almost hit a cow at one point. It was in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, those are always some funny stories. They're not really funny. I mean, they're funny after the fact, but definitely not in the moment.
No.
So you are only 15, obviously. So for, you know, normal 15-year-old girls, I don't believe their goal in life would be to go Iron Woman, probably like over 1,000 miles by the time you'll be done. Yeah. Desert races, brutal, tough, all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, it's hard mentally, it's hard physically, like balancing life and all that kind of stuff. So, like, so, you know, this is going to be one of those kind of questions, but why do you race? Like, what is why?
You know, I actually still question that to myself.
I think we all do.
There's like times during that race my hands are hurting, my neck hurts, and I like might have just broke, like my car's still broken, I'm limping it, or I just flipped. I'm like, why do I do this? But I really don't know. I guess it's like that feeling of crossing the finish line, saying I did that. I think that's really what it is.
Well, and I think a big part of it too, you know, that people don't see is like, you know, your family supports you, your fans support you, and like nowadays social media is so big, like you have that whole group of people behind you there, and like the people that you meet in racing, I feel like that's almost like my biggest thing for it. It's like, you know, like you meet so many amazing people in this. It's not even just driving. Like there's so much more that goes into racing.
Yeah, so most of them, like my closest friends are racers or like involved in
Exactly,
that.
Like once you're in, you're in. Like you make friends. I mean, like I feel like I have friends that are, you know, just as close that are family that are also in racing, obviously, and you see them every weekend. I mean, it's practically like siblings at that point. But, you know, besides the friend side of it, like, what about your family? Like, I'm sure this is, you know, your dad owns a business, your brothers race. Like, it's a family event for you guys.
It is definitely a family event. My dad used to do desert racing. That's kind of why I wanted to do it. He ended up kind of retiring and taking the sidelines to let us do it. But both of my brothers race. We've got 3 of us. Sometimes we could have upwards of 5 cars in a race. So definitely is a full family sport. My cousin races. I mean, my mom, dad, mama, papa, I mean, they all put everything into this. So, it's definitely a family sport.
And that is super cool. Not a lot of families get to say, you know, that everybody drives razors in the desert and in the short course. You know, like that is not like, you know, like your guys' dinner conversations are like, you know, making fun of each other because like you broke something or you flipped at that race. Not like, you know, like what you did in school yesterday. You know, like I feel like that's the kind of stuff that like not normal kids get to kind of live this life, and we're very fortunate to be able to do the things that we do.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's touch base on what Alexia's day-to-day life looks like. So, you know, you're full-time, you know, enrolled in school and racing. So go ahead and tell everybody, like, how you balance all this.
It's not easy. I wake up way too early for my liking. Go to school, get home, work on homework, pretty much till dinner time. Sometimes eat dinner, then go in the garage, work on the car, and then that's pretty much my day. I mean, and then weekends, it's almost every weekend we're like at a race or at an event or out testing or like doing something. It's never
prepping the car. There's always work to be done.
There's always something.
Okay, we're going to get into the, I guess you could call it rapid fire question section. Okay. So I'm just going to ask questions super fast, and you're just going to answer them as fast as you can. Okay, trophy truck or UTV?
Oh, trophy truck if I got the
dust or like mud?
Dust. I hate the mud.
Okay. Would you go Terros or are you going to use a rag?
Rag.
Oh!
I get frustrated with them.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Boys are racing.
Racing.
Of course. Favorite place to ride or, you know, just cruise around?
Glamis. Then we got to think about that. Glamis.
Yep, okay. Well, then at that point, Glamis or desert?
Oh, Glamis. I mean, I love the desert. I'm a desert racer, but I'd never go to Glamis. Glamis is where I grew up. I love Glamis. I'd go to Glamis any day.
Well, there's no pressure there. You're just cruising around. You're in the middle of nowhere in sand dunes. You know what I mean? Fun. Yeah, of course. What is your end goal in racing? Like, if you could summarize it up in just a couple words.
Trophy truck and Baja.
Guys, if you need a girl to either navigate or race, she's willing to drive a trophy truck. I mean, that is insane.
I'm going for, you know, give me the call. Won't even
like instant.
Yep, yes.
So your brother races, your dad races, you race. Who would you say is fastest?
It depends on where we're at. Putting the dunes, my dad's the fastest. On the short course, Jackson's the fastest. Cameron's not too far behind. And putting the desert, I think I got it.
Pro tip, you always say yourself. Yeah. Who are some people that you would like to thank? Who are the people that get you to the track every other weekend and the people that support you day to day?
My family, mom, dad, mom, papa, the XTC Power Products, 2X Motorsports, amazing guys over there always supporting me. Got High Lifter, Walker Evans, Shock Therapy, GBC, Simpson, Rugged Radios, and I think that's it. 518.
Yeah. That is a solid list. Props to you. That is, a lot of big companies in the industry. And, I'm super happy for you that you are moving up into bigger classes. And, I can't wait to see how you grow. It is super cool to see other females in the industry and everything. But before we leave, what is some advice you would give to maybe somebody starting out, girl, boy, somebody that's, just in the beginning steps of racing?
Don't stop at the beginning, because at the beginning I was not the fastest. I was racing you at the beginning. And I got so frustrated. Honestly, I wanted to quit. But I think the only reason why I didn't quit was because Jackson, my brother, was racing, and I didn't want him to do it and not me.
He couldn't be cooler than you.
No, exactly. Exactly. So I kept doing it, and then just that one race, it clicked for me, and now I just can't. No stopping.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you
So
for...
all of us behind the camera have a question. Neither one of you are going to like it. Who's faster?
I did it first.
No, she'll flip it.
Oh, thanks. You're no better.
I'm a little bit better. A little bit.
Now.
Yeah, now.
Thank you so much for being on the
Thank you
show.
for
I
having
greatly appreciate it. I think that is it, guys. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for all of our next guests.